William Herschel. British scientist William Herschel is one of the most important astronomers in history. Among his discoveries were Uranus, several of Saturn's moons, infrared radiation, and binary star systems. He was also obsessed with the idea of extraterrestrial life, particularly on the Moon. In the 1770s, he wrote in his journal that he'd seen forests and pastures on the lunar surface. He later believed he'd seen canals and patches of vegetation, yet it was craters that most caught Herschel's imagination. He built the largest telescope in history to that point, and he saw perfectly round structures unlike anything anyone had seen before. He called them circuses and pondered, perhaps then on the Moon every town is one very large circus. Herschel's thoughts on lunarians weren't known until after his death. Some of his contemporaries were less shy. Franz von Paula Gruithuisen published 3 papers in the mid-1820s detailing the colossal buildings, animal tracks, roads, cities, and temples he'd found. Yet they all paled in comparison to the discoveries attributed to William Herschel's son John, himself a famed astronomer, who was said to have built a telescope powerful enough to study lunar insects. Sadly, those claims were part of one of history's most infamous hoaxes. Mormon moon men. Many tales relate to Mormon beliefs of life on other worlds, some more reliable than others. The most common, often put forward by critics of the Church, is that Joseph Smith claimed that the Moon was inhabited. These moon men dressed like Quakers and lived for 1,000 years. The story was first told by a Mormon named Oliver Huntington, who'd written it in his journal in 1881. It's not a reliable record of what Smith believed, but it's not implausible. Sermons from Joseph Smith's brother Hyam in 1843 said, "Sun and moon is inhabited." Brigham Young, the Church's second president, preached in 1870 that there was no question that the sun was made to give light to its own inhabitants, as well as to those on Earth and elsewhere.